Chapter 1. The Day. Everything changed. You were not supposed to become a Jedi. You were born on a quiet agricultural planet in the Outer Rim, a place where the only sounds at night were wind through the crops and distant cargo ships passing overhead. Your life was simple. Wake up early, help your family harvest the fields, watch the stars at night and imagine what was out there. But even as a child, something about you was different. Objects sometimes moved when you were emotional. Doors opened before you touched them. You knew what people were going to say before they said it. Your parents thought it was strange. You thought it was normal. Until the day the Jedi arrived. A silver starship descended from the clouds and landed near your village. 2 Jedi Knights stepped out, cloaked, calm, powerful. The moment their eyes met yours, they knew. You were strong in the Force. Your life was about to change forever. Chapter 2. Leaving your old life behind. The Jedi spoke with your parents for hours. They explained what the Force was. They explained what you could become, a guardian of peace, a protector of the galaxy. But the cost was high. If you left with them, you could never return to the life you knew. No family, no attachments, no turning back. Your parents looked at you with tears in their eyes, but they also looked proud. You were destined for something greater. That night, you packed the only things you owned into a small bag. You took one final look at your home. Then you stepped aboard the Jedi ship. As the engines ignited and the planet shrank beneath you, one thought filled your mind. Your old life was over. Your new life had just begun. Chapter 3. The Jedi Temple. Days later, you arrived on Coruscant, the capital of the Republic, a planet that was one giant city. Towering skyscrapers stretched into the clouds, ships filled the skies like swarms of insects. But nothing impressed you more than the Jedi Temple, a massive structure standing tall above the city. This was where Jedi were trained. This was where you would learn. Inside the temple you met dozens of other younglings, children from all over the galaxy, different species, different planets, but all connected by one thing: the Force. Your training began immediately. You learned how to meditate, how to feel the Force flowing through every living thing, how to quiet your mind and listen. Some days were peaceful, other days were exhausting, but slowly you began to understand something incredible. The Force wasn't just power, it was balance. Chapter 4. The first trial. Years passed. You grew stronger, faster, more focused. But the most important moment of your training had finally arrived. The gathering. Your first trial. Every Jedi youngling must travel to the ice planet Ilum to find a Kyber crystal. The crystal that would power their lightsaber. Inside an ancient crystal cave, you searched. Hundreds of crystals surrounded you, but none of them reacted. Minutes passed. Then, suddenly, one crystal began to glow. It called to you. You reached out with the Force, and the crystal floated into your hand. It was yours. You had passed your first trial. Chapter 5. Building your lightsaber. Back at the temple, you began constructing your lightsaber. Every Jedi must build their own. It was a test of patience and connection to the Force. Piece by piece, you assembled the hilt. The final step was placing the Kyber crystal inside. You took a deep breath, then activated it. Snap. A bright blade of light ignited from the hilt. Your first lightsaber, the weapon of a Jedi. Elegant, precise, deadly. But more importantly, it symbolized your path. You were no longer just a youngling. You were becoming a Jedi. Chapter 6. Becoming a Padawan. Soon after, a Jedi Master chose you as their apprentice. You became a Padawan learner. Your master was strict, but wise. They taught you how to wield a lightsaber, how to sense danger before it happened, how to remain calm in the middle of chaos. Your missions began small, escorting diplomats, investigating disputes, protecting innocent worlds. But every mission taught you something new. A Jedi's greatest weapon was not their lightsaber, it was their judgment. Chapter 7. The First Real Battle. Everything changed when war broke out across the galaxy. The Clone Wars had begun. The Jedi were no longer just peacekeepers, they were generals. You and your master were sent to a distant planet under attack by the Separatists. Blaster fire filled the air. Explosions shook the ground. Clone troopers charged into battle beside you for the first time in your life. You ignited your lightsaber in real combat. Battle droids rushed toward you. Your training took over. Blaster bolts deflected. Droids fell. The Force guided every movement. But war was not like training. People were dying. The galaxy was changing, and the Jedi were right in the middle of it. Chapter 8. The 19 years of battles passed. You grew stronger, more experienced, more confident. Then, one day, the Jedi Council summoned you. Your master stood beside them, proud, calm. The council spoke. You had completed your training. You had faced danger. You had protected the innocent. You had proven yourself. It was time. They gave you a new title, Jedi Knight. Your braid was cut. Your journey as a Padawan was over. But your journey as a Jedi had only just begun. Chapter 9. The Dark Times. Not long after, everything fell apart. The Republic turned on the Jedi. Order 66 was executed. Clone troopers who once fought beside you suddenly turned their weapons against you. The Jedi Temple was attacked. Masters and students were hunted across the galaxy. The order that had stood for thousands of years collapsed in a single night. You barely escaped. Your lightsaber was hidden, your identity erased. For the first time since leaving your home planet, you were alone. The Jedi were gone. But the Force was still with you. Chapter 10. A New Hope. Years passed in hiding. The Empire ruled the galaxy. Jedi were hunted. But the Force had not abandoned the galaxy. One day you felt something, a disturbance, another Force-sensitive, strong, hopeful. The future was not lost. The Jedi might have fallen, but they would rise again. And somewhere in the galaxy, a new generation of Jedi was waiting. Perhaps one day, you would train them.